My name is Liz West and I'm an artist. Recently I have had my work Through Number 3 exhibited as part of the Kensington and Chelsea Art Week 2020. I wanted to talk a little bit more about that piece and how it came to being. It was commissioned in 2015 by Castlefield Gallery and Allied London. It was originally a temporary outdoor piece for Spinningfields in Manchester, and it was to be put up in the thick of winter, which, as we know in Manchester, can be fairly bleak. The work came about through thinking about how if I was going to make a piece for the public realm, I wanted to immerse people in pure colour rather than putting a sculpture on a pedestal or making something that was static. All my work that had come before Through Number 3 was about creating an environment, an immersive environment that used colour and light together to make a whole other world for the viewer. Spinningfields is also quite local to me, with it being in Manchester and me being based in Manchester also. Initially, I didn't want to do a site visit. I didn't feel the need. But then when I thought more and more what the work should be, I realised that it needed to fit harmoniously with its site and surroundings. So off I went to Spinningfields. The whole area is concrete, granite, steel and glass, and it's deplete of any colour, let alone vivid colour. And I really felt the area needed an injection of vivid, luminous tones. The work started out as a tunnel, but not a prismatic tunnel. And it slowly developed into a prism through conversations with various parties, and the main reason was to do with snow loading. You've got to think about rain and wind and snow and how that would affect a piece of engineering sculpture. We also felt that the prism really lent itself to the idea of being an ode to optics and how Isaac Newton first saw all the colours of the spectrum laid out in front of him when he put a prism up to the window. So everything was connected. When the work was commissioned, I was really interested in not only injecting colour into the area, but creating a sculpture that people could experience the whole surroundings through colour. So it was almost like people putting on coloured spectacles and seeing the whole area illuminated in bright vivid yellow or red or pink. The concept of the work was to create colour mixing. So there was two colours next to each other and then an overlay. So in that overlay you were getting a new colour being mixed, and that idea was repeated through the 6 individual metres of the tunnel. People could stop in the middle of the tunnel and look up and see their whole surroundings illuminated rather than it just being grey. The material is galvanised steel and vinyl covered polycarbonate. One thing that I was really certain that I wanted to happen with the work was how the sunlight behaved in and around it. So on that rare sunny day in winter, I wanted the sun to project through it and create amazing reflections on the pavement. And the work would behave like a sundial, so people could tell the time from where the coloured shadows fell. It was also really important for me that the work was still alive and activated when it was dark, light, wet and sunny. So it had to tick so many boxes. I'd made a number of other works before Through Number 3 which linked and progressed and developed to this work being. I'd made works for festivals and for other galleries which were much smaller adaptations, but a development to get me to Through Number 3. And that's why it's number 3 of a series. The whole idea of the series was being that these colours crossed over and created a mixing of colour blends in the middle, but also being an immersive environment within the public realm. I've borrowed this idea since 2015 when this work was conceived and made, and have since made more complex works where colours are really overlaid, not just once, but maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times to create really complex colour variations and combinations. One of these colour mixing projects has been recently unveiled at the Clatterbridge Cancer Centre in Liverpool, where I was commissioned to make a wall-based work. Now, of course, that's very different to through number 3, but I still wanted the work to be immersive, so it covers every single wall of the atrium space. When you walk around the space, you're going on a journey, and at no point do those colours ever repeat themselves, or does the pattern ever repeat itself either. The Clatterbridge Cancer Centre project had to be 2-dimensional, and it's a wallpaper. So different to through number 3 in the fact that it's not optically clear colour. As part of my Clatterbridge Cancer Centre project and the development for that very complex colour study, I've also made a limited edition print which is for sale through Daniel Benjamin Gallery in an edition of 50. This work is a direct copy of a part of the wall at the Clatterbridge Cancer Centre, and when you look closely at the print you will see how all the layers and layers and layers of colour are perfectly mixed and transmitted onto the paper. The paper feels like it's been dusted with pigment, and the colours are vivid and luminous even though they're printed. I really look forward to people's comments and feedback. I've really missed it during lockdown, having a piece of art in the public realm, and on a daily basis seeing people's photographs and comments come through my social media feed. People can be so creative with the images they make of the work, and also in the different lights and situations of the day. Please keep them coming. I'm delighted that through number 3 is staying in the Duke of York Square until the end of October. May it rain or shine, I hope that people enjoy it.